What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we're going to be doing a VOD review from jdzielinski. JD's sitting at about 1,300 LP right now, though the LP actually doesn't really matter here because this is a regionals in-house. This was, a normal game that was played with all of these players who, I believe they're all playing in regionals. I have no clue who Samamba is, but everybody else I'm pretty sure is playing in regionals. And regionals weekend 2 coming up very, very soon, coming up this weekend. And that's going to determine a lot of who we send to Worlds. We have a few people already guaranteed going based on who won the cups, but we got a lot more that are going to be going based on regionals. So JD starts off here with a great opener, honestly. We have this Bastion opener plus the Xayah here. We'd love to pick up something like a Shen, and I mean, ideally just, 4 Bastion plus Xayah, really nice. And could be a Bastion Xayah game for sure. Could be something else. Get a lot of gold here. We could theoretically make gold here, and he didn't. He did, actually. Wow. JD opted to solo Deer there and go for the pre-level. I feel like this is something that people don't do as much these days. But the pre-level here to just be level 4 to start off with. We have 1-cost upgrades already, so we can feel pretty good about it. Now, there's another big thing that we have to talk about here, which is this is augment round swap, where the augments come earlier, the Jinx encounter, and we have all of our augments this stage. 2-1, 2-2, and 2-6 are all of our augments, and it's a prismatic start. So this is going to be a crazy game. First augment here, Radiant Relics, Quality over Quantity, Priz Destiny. You never feel bad about Priz Destiny, I mean, unless it gives you some absolute trash. But I mean, 5 gold plus prismatic is oftentimes very, very, very good. Quality over Quantity I hate in these type of spots because we only have 2 components, so I would never click this here unless you could guarantee your 2-2 augment was like some, bunch of components, but you can't guarantee that. And then Radiant Relics, I think, is just fine. It's pretty good here. If you wanted to lock yourself into some kind of Xayah reroll option, you could take this. I would be tempted to just take this and just know that I can take something good for Xayah reroll and play that and, have a solid spot for it. The other thing, though, is Xayah reroll tends to be kind of like a play for 4th style comp. He's going to roll both here, finds Worth Away 2, and Sniper, and opts to take Priz Destiny and hits 9 lives, which is an interesting one. Now, 9 lives, since its heyday has been nerfed pretty significantly. The big thing is they nerfed a lot of the last cash out pretty significantly, where that used to be able to give you a radiant refactor, and now I believe it can no longer give you that. Let's pull up littlebuddybot.com. If you guys, by the way, not sponsored whatsoever, but Little Buddy Bot is a really, really good tool. There's this in Discord tables, but you can just pull this up, go to 9 lives, and there's a beautiful table for everything. So yeah, 1 life now. Yeah, nerfed really significantly. This used to be Artifact or Radiant Refactor, which is not really a fair comparison because Artifact is like a gold augment, Radiant Refactor is a prismatic augment. But now it gives you 3 component anvils, or it gives you a lucky chest and 12 gold. Much, much worse. The rest of the other cash outs are pretty much unchanged. I think there was like 1 small change to these. So overall, this augment is a lot weaker than it once was back in its heyday. Obviously can still put you into a really, really good spot if you are able to win some fights with it. The main kind of play pattern with 9 lives, I feel, is you can lose a little bit stage 2 and stage 3, but you just need to make sure that you're getting into stage 4 with a few lives left. If you make it to stage 4 with like 1 life, your life is going to suck here. So we take our first life, drop down to 8 HP. All right. Second augment here, Calc Loss, Psychic Forge, Cooking Pot. I mean, I like Cooking Pot with Bastions. The only downside to it is, and what is this gold orb that we have here? I guess this is just our cash out from 9 lives. I'm not sure why it's a golden orb, though. I mean, I would be looking at something like Cooking Pot here, and then we can, go for the Bastion spat, start stacking up. The problem is, like, if you had like a Swain here, I'd feel really good about this, right? Start stacking up like a Swain here. We don't have that. It's the only downside. I mean, no need to lock into Bastions here. You could think of like stacking up this Koboko, but then I don't really know what you're turning the Cooking Pot into in that comp. Psychic Forge is like meh. And Calc Loss doesn't really make sense to me because you're not going to be able to have that many losses. Okay, so we hit the Zactu out of it. We see hefty rolls. I mean, fine, actually, with the extra gold and the HP on the Bastion. I could see it being hefty rolls, I guess. We haven't rolled yet at all. I don't really love this. I only really like this in crew, honestly. But maybe it's like acceptable-ish in this setup. We'll see what Mr. Jdzielinski wants here. Okay, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Investment strategy. And he opts to take Calc Loss here. That is crazy to me. Because, I mean, we've already lost 1 fight. So maximum, we're gonna get 7 losses out of this, but he just says, you know what? I can get a bunch of rolls and And gold from taking those 7 losses, I mean, you know, 7 losses, 14 gold, and 7 rerolls is, you know, 28 gold worth of stuff. And a gold augment that gives you 28 gold worth of stuff is pretty good. It's just, you know, a little, I would say a little sketchy to get there, but we'll see. We'll see. We actually won this fight, which, like I said, is totally fine with Calculus. I don't think you, or not with Calculus. I mean, Calculus normally you win a loss streak, but with 9 lives, I don't think you want to just like full loss streak with 9 lives because you're just gonna be really, really close to death. I really like taking a few small wins here when you can get them. We randomly pick up the Xayah too, so I mean, honestly, I think we'll feel pretty good about winning a few of these fights. The big downside is obviously we are down bigly in combat augments. You know, we have no combat going on right now here. We are gonna lose this fight, so you know, not too bad. I guess it's a 1 unit loss, but sadly that does not matter for our purposes. Gonna take the cloak here to finish off the Kraken onto Xayah. 1, a very good slam, and 2, one of her best, I mean, kind of her best single item. So it makes a lot of sense to pick off Crystal, and it's onto a 3 cost, so we can feel good about that. And we're just, I was gonna say, 1 Xinjiao off of having Bastion. We actually, wow, we managed to find everything here. Other kind of interesting piece of this is you can see already kind of, you know, I from this spot certainly would be thinking this is going to be a Xayah game. But JD has a different plan, which I think is really interesting here. You can see actually what he's holding on to right now. He's holding on to all this Crystal Gambit stuff on the bench here. So maybe a little bit of a hint of what we are thinking about as our angle here. And yeah, I kind of thought for sure we'd make gold there, and we do. Okay. Shimmer Sale, Investment Value, Caretakers. I mean, if we're going to think about pushing levels, I think Caretaker's is the one you'd look at here. You see Pandora's 3 as well, which is really, really nice in general. Just guaranteeing radiant items, very nice, and I mean, it allows you to roll your other items as well. I mean, you compare this to Caretakers and you get kind of a similar effect, except you get this earlier. You know, you don't have to push level 8 to get that Prismatic, which is nice. Yeah, so I think this makes sense. Rotate into Build-A-Bud Zac with 3 items. That is kind of horrifying here. So going to be a... I mean, this is where it's nice that we have 9 lives because we get 5 out here, but it's only 1 HP, so pretty chill here. But I mean, you can see the spot from an economy perspective. I mean, very, very good, right? We're getting some of our cash outs here, getting all this extra gold from that. We're getting the extra gold and rerolls from Calculus here. We're going to be a rich boy here. So the question is, what do we want to play this into? Because, I mean, we have our pick of what we want here. Also, we have Radiant Steadfast here. I don't think this one is that good in the statistics. We also roll everything else. Find Radiant Warmogs, which I think is pretty acceptable, especially if you are playing into Bastions. But like I said, you know, there's a little bit of an indicator already that that's not really what JD wants to play into. I mean, you could even slam Warmog, slam Redemption here, or Anima Visage, as they call it in the biz here, though it's kind of looking like he's not going to slam the Radiant Warmogs. We'll see here. Okay, yeah, he does opt to slam it. I think this makes sense. I do think with Radiant Pandoras, you really just need to take the first acceptable option that you see, and now the question is, like, what is an acceptable option? But you got to be careful. If you're too picky with this augment, you will just hold a Radiant item on your bench the entire game and just die with a Radiant item on your bench, and you'll, you know, on 2 HP, throw it onto a unit, and then lose the last 2 fights and be like, more dog, you didn't give me the perfect item until then. But this is what, you know, TFT is all about, is sometimes, you know, taking an option that is not the perfect exact thing that you want, but still quite good. A very solid tank item here. But yeah, I mean, we're 6 HP here. I think this is pretty good. Like I said, going into stage 4, I really think like 3 HP is kind of the sweet point. If you have 3 or more going into stage 4, I think you're feeling pretty good. If you have less than 3, if you're down to like 2 HP, that is the super danger zone, I would say here. So we're at 5 here. As long as we can win a few more of these fights, we'll feel okay. And we're still, you know, getting these cash outs here. We decided to craft the double Kraken here, which I think is another piece of our itemization. I mean, it's very, very good onto Xayah, but you can see, yeah, we're gonna oh my god, pre-pump the whole way here at level 7, which just says we're not opting to play Bastion Xayah. I mean, honestly, I kind of want to do a quick check of the lobby to see if there was actually a Bastion Xayah player, because obviously, like, JD did not want to play at this game, but I'm not actually 100% sure. Like, it would make a lot more sense if there was someone who is, like, guaranteed playing Bastion Xayah here, or maybe he just thinks that the line that he has this game is that much better than it, which we'll see here. Go into Carousel here. A lot of stuff here. Spats, Pans, and most importantly, an Ashe here. He's going to opt to take the Ashe over any of the Spats and the Pans here, which I think I mean, to a lot of people, it might be kind of crazy. You know, I think we should pause. And one, I want to scout for the Xayah player, and two, talk through this because we had guaranteed Crystal Gambit emblem if we wanted it here. But JD, I mean, the idea is, you know, after Crystal Gambit has been nerfed so fortuitously, 7 only gives, you know, it gives extra rewards, 300 HP and 15% damage jump. I mean, it's not that big of a spike, you know, compared to what it once was. Whereas getting the Ashe, guaranteeing the Ashe, he actually thinks that that is more important here. Also, yeah, let's do this quick scout and see, is there a Xayah player in this lobby? Not seeing one so far here. This guy, kind of almost, I mean, from a frontline perspective, but he is holding the Kog'Maw, so he's going to play that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he could have played Xayah this game if he wanted to, but he opted to not go for it. Gets his cash out here, gets a Sunfire Cape, which actually looks fine enough here. And here's the other thing that JD's going to do here. He is going to roll here. He's going to find Udyr 2 here. We are going to continue to roll here. We're going to look for more Crystal Gambit units, and we are going to quickly pivot the board into 5 Crystal Gambit plus this Xin Zhao here, and this is going to be our board. Items move over to Ashe. Look for a good Ashe power-up. We take Bludgeoner, which is quite solid, onto her, and this is going to be our setup. 5 Crystal Gambit on 3/5. So this is this new school version of Ashe. You know, back in the day, you'd play Vertical Duelist Ashe. We also get a fantastic cash here, actually. Cassante plus an Ashe. That is amazing here, because that's going to make it so much easier to push level here. Going to finish the GS that we get off of the Ashe, and then, yeah, wow, going to move items just completely over to Cassante here. Pick, I guess, Rocket Crab is pretty solid. Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I mean, Cassante, it's kind of crazy that a Cassante 1 is better than an Udyr 2 with Juggernaut and Duelist in, but is he wrong? I mean, probably not. The Cassante also does a lot of value, you know, keeping the Sunfire alive. So this is our spot. We're 5 crystal here, 51 gold. We're going to look at very soon pushing level 8 here to get an extra unit in. We're even holding Jarvan as a potential in there. This fight looking close here. We are getting zapped by this Kog'Maw, and we are actually going to lose the fight, though. Ooh, another Cassante from Cash is amazing here. But so what's the idea here? I mean, the idea is that with the buffs to Ashe, you know, this unit is actually quite playable these days. We're actually going to roll this round. Wow. This unit is playable, and 5 crystal, I mean, they nerfed the duplicators cash out, but you can still get a ton of combat power out of this. You can get duelist spats, you can get still strategist spats, but a little bit higher. You can get, you know, artifacts and things like this. So if you're strong this stage and you're getting your cash outs, you feel good here. We roll deep. We're really trying to find the Cassante 2 there. We also find the Jarvan 2. Wow, a lot of stuff to roll for, and we end up we end up there. We actually kind of made it to the board here. Level 8. We're going to actually, oh wow, we moved power up here and ended up taking adaptive skin. Not that keen on the rocket grab. Interesting. I thought rocket grab was decent enough onto him, but I mean, he's looking for something else here. I mean, the adaptive skin's not bad because it's giving resist to a unit with a ton of HP. It's also interesting to me that he opted to hold just this this Giant's Belt here. Gonna have to open the chest any chance that we get here. And we do, yeah, okay, so the idea was we were running to hold Giant's Belt so that we can make Even Shroud here. I've seen a lot of people take Desperado. Yep, move this, find Tankzilla, which really looks like what he was looking for because he grabbed that immediately. There is a kitty on my desk here, giving me company during the VOD review. Maybe I can give you a little bit of a kitty. There she is, to give you a little bit of a kitty cam. But you can see now, I mean, we are 1 combat aug, right? Okay, she's gone, so I guess we're back to me. 1 combat aug is all we got in this spot. Also, I always need to make sure when I do that I don't accidentally mute my mic like happened at one time. But it's in some ways all we need. I mean, our board is very, very upgraded for this point in the game. The one thing I am afraid of is like, this is still a double prismatic lobby. There are going to be some strong boards. Jose or Josue deleted here. Actually a pretty weak board compared to what I would expect people would be on in this spot. Most units once are on this board. I mean, he is just triple combat augment, so I guess it makes sense. Get another cash out here. I mean, the other nice thing is we have Pandora's, so if we ever get a cash out that has, you know, items, we can roll those. Opt to take the Chain Vest here, looking for a Protector's Vow onto the Yarvin. And yeah, I mean, our items, I mean, our spot is honestly looking great, and I mean, this is the power of this Ashe Crystal Gambit comp. You know, people prior to this patch, we're doing a lot more of the, you know, not Ashe Crystal Gambit, but obviously the Malzahar Crystal Gambit, the Ahri Crystal Gambit, and those comps definitely still exist. But this comp, I feel like this patch has really risen to the forefront as like as something that you can just play for. And I mean, one of the things that I thought was very interesting is his D priority on taking that spat for the Crystal Gambit emblem, because he knew like 7 Crystal Gambit's not that big of a spike anymore, and I just want to guarantee that, you know, I get my Ashe, I get my 2 stars, I get my items. I mean, Boom, full item anvil that we cash out there, and we get to open another small chest here. Pop this open. Bleh, I guess it's just Warmogs for the Jarvan. Yeah, I mean, decent enough here. And soon we're going to start looking for duo carry items. We have the Mana Zane that we cashed out from that other big cash out. I didn't even notice that because he just threw it onto the Syndra. But we got the biggest cash out into Mana Zane. That's going to go onto Zyra, very likely. We get a small dupe cash out that used to be double dupe cash outs. Here is the kind of board there, I feel like, in these triple prismatic lobbies that we should be seeing. And yeah, we get kind of slapped around there by Tunington a little bit here. But hey, that means we get a cash out here, get a TG, which I think, yep, we can just throw into Udyr, feel pretty good. What is Chunington's board here? Actually, oh wait, it was not Chunington that we fought there. It was Jungle Book. Okay, he was just on our board here. Yeah, managed to get to the TF, level 9. He's got everything going on there. That is a scary board. But the upside is we have the 2 lives. Remember, going into stage 4, we really wanted to have a few lives here. We're going to roll down here. Find Lee Sin. 2 Lee Sins. I mean, that is a great Juggernaut to play. There's Braum, though. Okay. There's Braum Parent, so he's going to sell off everything else and say, yeah, I mean, I must play Braum here. Going to Mana Zane the Braum. Oh, wait. That seems kind of sick. I've never actually done this set. And Mana Zane Adaptive Helm here. And just, I mean, cast, and then cast. And then I think he died in the middle there. Ooh, and this fight's really close as well. Can Ashe clutch it out? We do clutch it out. That's a big win. Every win is huge here. This is why you can see JD is being very open to just spending all of his gold to roll in spots like this, roll it down to 0, because, I mean, we've talked about this before. A lot of these Crystal Gambit cash outs, cashing out a Mana Zane, that is a gold augment that we cashed out. And so if you can get to some of these bigger, cash outs, even even stuff like the 16 kills ones, if you can cash those out, I mean, you are cashing out augments every single time, a lot of the time, as long as it's not the smaller cash outs. And cashing out augments, it turns out, is very good. If you can play this game and, lose some of your econ, but you end up cashing out 2 or 3 gold augments on the way, I mean, that puts you head and shoulders above everybody else. So continuing to roll down here, obviously, as far as Crystal Gambit units, Syndra is the most cuttable here. You can do stuff like Seraphine, but we're not really going to do that this game. Once we find Zyra, I think, the Syndra just comes off the board for the Zyra, and you feel good about it. We get our cash out here, find Lucky Item Chest, look for, I think, Braum item, right? And he ended up taking Edge of Night, but the problem is that item's gonna, okay, yeah, he throws it onto the, oh, no, he's gonna reforge. Oh my God, he got it to the Braum on the last second, actually. Okay, look at the APM, look at the moves. Also take Deathblade here, which I think will go on to Braum, and the idea is that Mana Zane is going to move down to Zyra later, and so we're going to be Deathblade, Edge of Night, plus Adaptive Braum. I think that's the dream here, and he wants to roll down here. Ideally, he'd find 1 Zyra so we can move these items over, and boom, there's the Zyra. Can he continue to roll down? Braum 2 here, big here, and yep, this is exactly what we talked about. Oh, it was a weird... it was what we talked about, but he changed his mind, actually. He thinks the Mana Zane is better on the Braum 2. I mean, yeah, this makes sense, actually. I mean, the weird thing about Braum is that he's kind of a long cast. Like, he has to spin this entire time. What's weird is actually he doesn't mana lock. I didn't even realize that. Braum does not mana lock during his cast. He mana locks for like a second. Is that a bug? Seems weird. I've never actually seen Mana Zane Braum, but it actually looks quite good because while he's spinning, he's generating mana. So I thought it was going to be while he's spinning, he's mana locked, but that's not the case. Interesting. Okay, so Mana Zane Braum actually looking very good here. And yeah, the adaptive moves down to Zyra here. All right. Just want to make sure that our Braum stays on big tanks here. Yeah, ideally it would be on this Malphite, but it kind of misses there. But it's okay. Yeah, it's like the first second or 2 of his spin, he's mana locked. We beat Chunington here, and on a 5 streak here, top 3 locked in for JD. I mean, the spot is looking amazing here. We're looking at pushing level 10 here. The rest of the lobby, let's check him out. So there's Chunington with a very nice crew board who's kind of hit a lot of stuff here. I mean, hit all of the 3 stars, has TF1 on their board. And then Bap Zera here with a 7 Battle Academia, Max Arcana, 64 AP Katarina here with great items. So we'll see where this goes. Zyra item here, yeah, Void Staff I think makes a lot of sense. It's just some MR Shred. Honestly, I mean, I would have taken it, but now the more that I think about it, is it even right over Shojin? I guess, like, Shojin's really not doing all that much. It's just like, is your board doing much magic damage? I don't think so. All right, rotating to the crew player. They actually swap their Malphite to the far right really quickly, which is really annoying for us. And yeah, Malphite actually walks up, slaps the Ashe. What? And we lose that fight. And honestly, it didn't look that close. I mean, this is where, you know, having these double econ augments feels a little bad, but we get our last cash out here, which is the lucky item chest. Level up. We find a Lee Sin here that we're looking at just playing the... Everybody loves Lucha, man. We're going to opt to play Lucha here, and we do get a death cap off the lucky item chest for Zara here. All right. Could be our last fight, actually. 1 HP here. Katarina on this side. We try to get our Ashe as far away from the rest of our board as possible to avoid being Katarina ulted. Really nice positioning. We'll see. We get the Tankzilla proc. But I don't know if it's enough, actually. Oh my god, the Yuumi the cat. And it is a third from jdzielinski. Wow. I mean, this is a crazy game. I think probably with like a slightly better gold augment, the Calc loss was a little awkward, I think, this game. We can win out, but these two boards, I mean, shows the power of these reroll comps. But a really cool showing from JD in a crazy lobby. So, should I watch like one more fight just to see? Okay, if Chennington, I'm gonna watch this fight. And then if he loses, then I'm just going to assume that like whoever wins this fight, I'm going to assume is going to win the lobby. And it does look like it's going to be, yeah, this Katarina board. So a dub for the Katarina. All roads lead to reroll, maybe. I don't know. But still, a really cool game from JD, showing off a very solid comp. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy. All the links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, as always.